Hello, rogues and witches. It's funny, I realize I've been using that as a video intro for quite some time across videos here and there. I don't use it every time, but quite often. And I realize we may actually be getting a rogue witch at some point in the future in this series. This is some stray footage I had lying around from editing my AC Shadows review. I've been getting some comments from people saying I want to hear LeoK speak again, so you're hearing LeoK speak again. Just a castle infiltration. Across your playthrough, you're probably going to be doing these a bunch of times. This is just Sakamoto Castle at night. And yeah, some post-commentary. Really chill, really casual, nothing too advanced. You can break light sources with your weapon and with shuriken. If I'm in melee range, I'll typically just melee it. Note that you can still SSI trick or visual lure people in this game, and it's very strong. So when their detection meter goes yellow, just hide again and they'll go to where you were. This is great to do when you're in these interior high ground areas because you can pull individual guards from low ground up to you, which obviously they isolate themselves from everyone else, and that is very, very nice. So here this guy's going to come up here and we're going to stab him and we are just totally chill. Nice and easy. So I actually have two things I'm doing here. One is a contract, which is to just destroy some materials. And then the other is the actual castle infiltration, which involves killing 3 Daisho and then looting a chest. Daisho are kind of like special units. They're basically assassination mini targets in every castle. And each time you kill one, you get a skill point, so it's very worth doing. You can headshot people with kunai through thin surfaces, which is something you should do a lot. You can also, of course, break objects through thin surfaces. So here we can do that, we don't have to expose ourselves to these guys on the other side. We can grab this dude, pull him into this bush. People you've grabbed, you can crouch to force them to crouch with you. If someone else is too close, for example, this is a good way to keep hidden for a little bit before committing to the knockout or kill. By holding observe, we can see loot through walls. You know, wealth, as the game calls it. There is a Daisho chilling behind this thin cloth here. So you know what to do. We're gonna go ahead and headshot him with a kunai. I'll use heightened senses here to slow time and basically give myself more time to react relative to my enemies as I come around this corner. We'll take out this guy, critical insight triggers, which means heightened senses resets on the first assassination. We can kill the second guy, get our kunai, loot this guy, get the chest, and we are on our way. Heightened senses is a skill I only recently started playing with. I think it's really, really good, and I do recommend practicing with it. So here, I'm being looked at. Fortunately for me, he does see corpses while investigating in my direction, so he's going to divert and go check those out. At this point, I figure I can probably go into this little house and start taking care of people over here. Unfortunately, I make a poor decision here. Someone was looking at me as I kill this guy, and I get detected. At this point, I figure, oh, I'll smoke here and wait for them to come to me, but I realize there's an alarm guy running to ring the alarm bell. So I'll use Shadow Piercer on him to kill him, I'll use Hidden Hand on the dude next to me, and then I will try to knock down the second guy going for the alarm. Enemies that are grounded, if it doesn't let you ground attack them, you can just charge attack them, posture attack them, and you can hit them that way. But right now I just want to take out this bell. Obviously you don't want to be fighting too often with Naue, but small fights and skirmishes she can do very, very well in. Especially with a bleed Tanto, which chunks people. We'll Shadow Piercer this dude to take him out, and then be on with our day. You can still 1-2 people in this game. It's very, very good. In fact, it's probably better than ever because you can usually pick your kunai back up. There we go. Typically, you're very safe around these outer walls in castles. The only exception is sometimes the archers that ring their perimeter can patrol left or right on occasion. So here, don't miss like I did, but you can break this to guarantee this archer will look at what you just broke And this way, his behavior is not random. You know, he's not gonna suddenly turn in your direction as you approach him. Basic stealth game tech, where, you know, to make enemies predictable, you give them something to do, basically. Because enemies can look on rooftops on expert, this guy briefly started looking at me, so I'll prone in the shadow. When you're prone in a shadow, for the most part, you are kind of completely invisible. My visibility is flickering here, because I'm holding observe to look at him. Holding observe does make you slightly more visible. Kill this dude. Kill this dude. Someone else is looking at me and saw me. I'll dive over here and then prone in the shadow to kind of get my bearings. What's really interesting is guards in shadows have such long sight ranges. They can start detecting you from farther than your eagle vision range. So I'll EV here and I'll see nothing, because the guy is actually in the alleyway there. And you'll see in a moment. Yeah, see him right there. That's the guy. Stealth is definitely a little bit more serious of an affair this time around, which is something I really appreciate. Side roll, reposition, take this guy out. And we shall move on. We've killed quite a few people. Honestly, you probably don't need to kill most of these guys. I will have more ghost-oriented gameplay at some point for you. Probably after the review. I don't want to take too much time away from it. Here, I climb up briefly to test if people on the low ground can see me, and yes they can, so what I'm gonna do is break this light, and to be safe, cast Heightened Senses, so I can very quickly cross this rope. Critical Insight will trigger from me killing this guy, so Heightened Senses will refresh. And then I still have 12 seconds of slow-mo to run over here. Take a look around. Kill this guy. I see another one on the high ground. A useful thing you should get into doing is 1-2 off of light sources. So 1-2 to hide yourselves, kill the guy. Why do we hide ourselves? Because assassinations do make some noise. So if there's someone nearby who hears, they might be able to see. There's an argument to be made that what he actually heard was me breaking the object. If you have assassinated people in close range to others, you know for yourself assassinations do also make noise. Either way, breaking a light does hide the body before you kill it. It's good. Here I'm going to use Oniyuri, a recruit who is a poisoner. She can sleep people. She'll sleep cloud those two guys, and whoever investigates will be slept as well. These guys don't wake up unless someone wakes them up. You can't wake up if you're dead. Moving through shadows and doors when crouched is also very strong. This guy couldn't see me until it was too late. Headshot this guy. You can almost always pick your kunai back up from a body. I wish parkour was better in this game and more enjoyable, but more on that later. This is a servant. You can kill them with no consequence. As a role-playing touch, I typically like to choke them out. Here, this guy will hit me. If you deflect one hit of a blue flurry chain, you can vault it to cancel the rest of their combo. You should do this basically every time. There is no reason to let an enemy do their full parry chain. Just deflect the first hit that you can and then vault them. Indoors, we have to play a little bit more carefully. We have to be a little bit more deliberate and diligent about looking around, because these are kind of the spaces where you feel most threatened, typically. Not too many guys here, though. There is a Daisho up here, which is very, very nice. Pretty isolated from everybody, except for this one guy next to him, who I don't notice until it's almost too late. The moment of surprise lets me take him out. Do try your best to cap viewpoints whenever you're infiltrating a castle, especially when you're already at the Tenshu. There's no reason not to. They're a fast travel point, and when you're on the top ridge, like the peak of these places, these Tenshu, you're not considered in a restricted area anymore, so you can warp out if you want to. Last guy is down there. I'm gonna make a mistake here and enter combat. You'll see in a moment. So what I'll do here is I'll use Shinobi Bell to make these two guys look away. I just don't scout carefully enough, so I miss the dude on the left. And end up fighting. Hidden Hand basically nukes this guy. It's very, very strong. It's why I consider the Tonto the general stealth specialist weapon. It just has a lot of skills that let you quickly recover from small fights. I try to leap strike that guy, but he blocks me. And you can be hit during a skill cast. It's not like Odyssey where casting skills gives you iframes. So you definitely have to be careful. Alright, everybody's dead. We can go ahead and pick up the legendary chest, and that is this castle done. Usually it is easiest to climb buildings that have lips, overhangs, or extended roofs like this by using your grappling hook. The amount of times you are forced to use your grappling hook is very rare in this game in my experience, but it's nice to be able to use it anyway. And because we cleared everyone out earlier, we can very comfortably come back here and pick up this chest. And that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching. May fog shroud you, may stars light your way, and may the night keep you safe.